Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Poray, a sports chiropractor in Whitby, Ontario. My topic for today is how chiropractic can benefit lacrosse players. I've been in practice for over 27 years and I've been the team chiropractor for all those years, starting in 1985 working with the Scarborough Saints Junior B Lacrosse Club and for the last 10 years with the Toronto Rock of the National Lacrosse League and the Senior A Brooklyn Redmen of the MSL. Now, there are several forms of lacrosse. Field lacrosse is played by men and women. The men's form is a contact sport, which could be described as a combination of soccer and ice hockey, whereas the women's game is similar, but is a non-contact version. These are both played outdoors on a large field or pitch. Box lacrosse, however, is played indoors in an arena and more resembles ice hockey combined with basketball. Regardless of the form, and while there are subtle differences in the styles of the games, the components are the same. That is, running, passing, shooting, and in the men's game, a great deal of physical contact. The contact comes in the form of cross-checking, slashing, and body checking. The lacrosse ball is made of very hard rubber and can inflict some nasty injuries of its own. As a sports chiropractor, my concerns are dealing with the results of contact from other players. As well as the sticks and the ball, and as well as maintaining the player's flexibility and making certain that the player's physical talents are optimized. Passing and shooting are probably the most important skills a player has. The basic shot or pass requires two hands on the stick and is a summation of forces with running speed that is transferred to the body when the feet are planted. These forces are then magnified through the hips, the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists like a big whip to create a powerful release at the end or at the head of the stick. To be good at this complex skill, a player must be able to sequence the separate components into one flowing movement. The chiropractor assesses the spine and ensures that each segment is moving smoothly and there are no interferences at that level to the nerves that supply the involved muscles. Well-trained athletes are exceptionally tuned into this smooth sequencing and will describe a problem with it as their timing being off. The running part of the game is composed of bursts of acceleration, straight line speed combined with a need to stop quickly, shifting from side to side, and spinning off opposing players. This also requires exceptional balance. As a chiropractor then, I must make sure the player's vestibular function is optimal and that each joint in the player's extremities have a full range of motion. To do this, I make certain that the spinal joints in the upper neck are moving smoothly and that there are no blocks to a full range of motion in the ankles, knees, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. The contact part of the game can be divided into two parts, giving and receiving. As we learned at Christmas, it's always better to give than to receive. But regardless, both have consequences. Bruises are part of the game and can be dealt with by a liberal application of ice to minimize the extent of the bruise, and then later the use of arnica cream, kinesio tape, and eventually ultrasound to prevent calcifications in the muscles. Soft tissue mobilization can also be used to speed up the removal of old blood. Sprains and strains are also part of the game. When it comes to sprains, it's extremely important for a chiropractor to start mobilizing joints early to encourage healing, and then when the joints are ready, to manipulate them and ensure that each part of the joint is moving appropriately. Sports chiropractors may also know specialized techniques like Graston to rehab strained ligaments as part of the injury process. Muscles and tendons may become compromised, and that's where the introduction of soft tissue techniques like myofascial release can be very helpful. As a sports chiropractor, I will also evaluate muscle length and make corrections using PNF, or proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, or some other specialized sports stretching technique. An unfortunate and what appears to be an increasing part of lacrosse is concussions. There's a standard protocol for treating concussions, or perhaps we should say markers that need to be reached while we wait for all the elements of a concussion to disappear. Chiropractic assessment of the cervical spine is a must as part of this. When you consider the mechanics of a concussion, you'll see the necessity for correcting spinal function. in the neck as part of the treatment of concussions in athletes. For more information about that, I'd like you to see my video log on concussions. Finally, to wrap up this talk regarding chiropractic for lacrosse players, a sports chiropractor may use kinesio tape to enhance the function and the support of injured muscles, or sports taping to secure joints that may be a little bit suspect. Hopefully, you'll see from this talk today that the necessity of making the sports chiropractor as part of the lacrosse players' healthcare team. I'm Dr. Mark Poray. You can find more information about the services at the Brooklyn Family Health Center by looking up www.drporay.com, or you can make an appointment at our Whitby office by calling 905-655-5767. Thanks.